This show is made possible by support from landsharks.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations.
Munzee, challenges, and catching up with Joshua. It's September 3rd, 2011. This is Trackfiles. Hi there, and welcome to Trackfiles. I'm your host, Icenrye. Trackfiles is a video podcast featuring caching news, upcoming events, major milestones, YouTube videos, and podcast rewind. My website is trackfiles.tv. My email address is geoicenrye@icenrye.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Trackfiles, and if you're a fan of the show, make sure you sign up for the Facebook Trackfiles fan page. So, what's new? Well, it's been a great summer here in the Prince George. Weather hasn't necessarily been the best, we really didn't get a summer per se. But man, I've been spending a ton of time with the dogs, out trialing, practicing, training, and just generally having fun. So the podcast was put on the back burner for most of the summer, and I've been working on my little pet front yard project if you've been following along with that. But hey, here we are in the month of September. Trackfiles is back. However, this actually is going to be the only episode for the month of September, and I'll be back on a normal schedule in October. Now, why is this the only episode in September? Well, next weekend I sort of have to finish off some household projects because the weekend after that is the last outdoor trial of the year down at Quesnel, and the weekend after that, well, all I can say is Vegas, baby. I'm officially announcing the 2011 Icenrye Southwest Tour, and where I'll be leaving here in Prince George on September 24th and flying down to Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'll be spending some time out in the desert. Hopefully I'll be working on some of those ET trail caches and the alien head and the spaceship, and just checking out the whole area there. After Vegas, well, I'm going to head on down to the Hoover Dam, spend a couple days in the Grand Canyon, check that out. And then from there, I'm heading over to the west coast of California, just north of San Francisco, up in the wine country, to a small little town called Petaluma, where I will be taking in the October 2nd edition of TWiT with Leo Laporte and his invited guest. Now, I want to track along the tour. Well, it's very easy to do. I've created actually a brand new Twitter page. It's called Icenrye Tour 2K11, and you can follow that on Twitter. And also, make sure you check out my new blog website, icenryeblog.com. I'll be updating it hopefully daily, depending on how and where my Wi-Fi access is. And I'll be taking lots of pictures, which of course I'll be uploading to my SmugMug site. Now, I do have a small favor of all you guys out there, especially if you do follow me on Twitter and or Facebook. When I get into Vegas on Saturday the 24th, once I get through customs, get the rental car and everything, I'm going to drop by the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. And conveniently, there's a webcam focused on that particular sign. And when I get there, I'll post to Twitter, I'll post to Facebook that I'm there. And if any of you guys out there in the internet could kindly go to the website, bring up the camera and capture an image and just either upload it to TwitPic or whatever your Twitter photo hosting site is, or post it on the Trackfiles Facebook fan page. I'd really appreciate that. It'll be kind of like a souvenir. Anyway, that's enough small talk for now. Let's get into the meat of the show. Time for some geocaching news. Caching news. Well, for this episode, I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm not so much going to look back at past caching stories of the week. I'm just going to look at a couple of things that came out during the summer. And first off, I want to talk about Munzee. And if you're new to Munzee, well, it's a game similar to geocaching. However, instead of looking for a physical box and signing your name, you are looking for a quick read code, literally a luggage tag. Now, this game, as of now, can only be played with folks who have an Android or an iPhone device. However, it's gaining in popularity here in Prince George. It took off very quickly and it's reached a bit of a plateau. But we have 4 or 5 guys who are really into the game, and it's quite interesting. Now, to capture a Munzee, as they say, all you have to do is actually find a tag and take a picture of it with your iPhone device, and it reads the quick code and registers everything for you. So It's a little different, a little easier than caching in some ways, and a little more difficult because, well, all the tags are about the size of a business card and you can hide them in some pretty sneaky places. However, where I see Munzee being really popular is in an urban environment where you just cannot hide a physical cache, even if you want to do one of those little nano caches or something. I mean, let's face it, the logs on those are so small, if it's a popular cache, you're going to be changing the log every couple weeks. Whereas with Munzee, you can hang a tag, you just come along, snap it with your smartphone, and it's done. So I'm going to try something a little different with this episode. Starting with this episode, I'm asking for feedback. What do you think about Munzee? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you participate in it? And there's two ways you can let me know. One, send a tweet to my Twitter page at Trackfiles, or if you're a part of the Facebook fan page, I'll start a little thread and just add a comment, and we'll see what you guys think of Munzee. So the next big thing that happened this summer with caching was challenges. And instead of me explaining it, let's just roll a couple videos from Groundspeak that tells you what challenges are all about.
An action challenge is when you challenge people to perform a task at a specific location. A photo challenge is when people are challenged to take a picture doing something specific at a location.
So there you go, a short and brief explanation from Groundspeak themselves on what the whole concept of challenges is about. Now here in Prince George, receptions are a little hot and cold. Some people are into them, a lot of people aren't overly excited about them. Myself, I haven't tried any lately, but there's only one or two around here. So now we'll see what happens when I hit my Southwest Tour, because I'm thinking that down there's probably a few more, and there's probably still a lot of the old style virtual caches too. So again, I'll be starting a thread on the Trackfiles Facebook fan page, so let me know challenges. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or also send a message to at Trackfiles on Twitter. Well, that about wraps it up for news. Let's get into YouTube videos. YouTube videos, and for this episode, well, we're going to stay with the whole challenges theme we were just talking about. We're going to head on down to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and my good friend video blogger, geocaching video blogger Joshua Johnson, as he takes a group of his kids out, well, finding challenges. I'm going to show you highlights of the video. As usual, visit my website trackfiles.tv for a link to the full-length video. So here we go, challenges with Joshua Johnson on Trackfiles.
Hey everybody, Joshua here, and we are on the transit train in Minneapolis area, and we're actually going to go look for some geocaching challenges. We found it. We found the statue that we need to find. There he is. We found him. There he is. You've completed your first geocaching challenge. How does that make you feel, Dove?
Amazing.
Oh, how does that make you feel?
Cool.
Cool. All right, here we are, guys. Take a picture. Thumbs up. Is right here. Maybe you've seen the show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show before, and here she is. Yeah. Nice, Woody Jr. Okay. So Woody Jr., what do you think of Mary Tyler Moore statue? What do you think of this lady?
Cool flowers.
Cool flowers?
Mm-hmm.
She has a hat. Okay, this is pretty exciting. We're gonna go sit in the glove and get our picture in the glove. That's one of the challenges. And as we get here, we realize that there's actually a Twins game going on. Check it out. It's Target Field. Target Field. Whoa, that is one huge glove. And Woody Jr. is gonna sit in it. That is pretty good. Get in there. Sit, you gotta sit down. And now for a fine way to end our geocaching challenge adventure is to head to this. Our kids discovered something else. It is an ice cream truck. Whoa! Wow! You want that one? Okay.
Thanks for watching.
So there you go, folks, a great video on challenges. So now that you got you all excited for caching, let's find some events to go to. Time for this episode's Event Planner. Event Planner. All these upcoming events are scheduled for September 24th, 2011. First, we start in the lower mainland of British Columbia, where we have the Great Canadian Shoreline Cleanup, Norrish Creek, hosted by Agassi Angel. Then we head on up to my hometown of Prince George, British Columbia, for the Great Canadian Shoreline Cleanup, Fraser, Nechako, hosted by unbcgeobats. Now, unfortunately myself, I won't be able to attend that event because when this event's being held, I'll be on a 737 flying down to Las Vegas, where we have our next event, the Icenrye and PGgeodude meet and greet in Las Vegas, Nevada. Actually, I can give you a few more details about that one. That's going to be held Saturday, September 24th at the In-N-Out Burger on Dean Martin Way down in Las Vegas. So my flight gets in around a little after 3 o'clock and hopefully clear customs, catch the bus to the rental car joint, get the picture taken at the Vegas sign, hit my hotel room, get settled in, head across the street to the In-N-Out Burger. So hey, if you're a Vegas area cacher, come on down. I'd like to meet you guys. We got a couple people said that they're coming already, and some of them I'm really excited about because, well, I'd love to meet some of the Vegas area cachers and hear some great stories about caching in the desert. Up here in Prince George, we have to worry about mosquitoes and grizzly bears. I'm guessing down there I got to worry about scorpions and rattlesnakes. So hey, again, if you're in the Las Vegas area, September 24th, 6 p.m., In-N-Out Burger, Dean Martin Way, come on down, meet myself and fellow Prince George cacher, PGgeodude. So now that I have my flight booked for a great event, it's time to get some listening materials for that long flight to Vegas. Time for Podcast Rewind. Podcast Rewind, looking back at this past week caching podcast. First we start with Cache-Maniacs, where they interview FireSafe of Australia. From there, we go to the Geocaching podcast, where they talk about geocaching challenges. And finally, we hit up to Seattle for Caching in the Northwest, where they talk Caching in the Northwest, Pennsylvania. So as usual, folks, visit my website, trackfiles.tv, for links to these podcasts, and enjoy listening to them, because I know I will be. Well, that about wraps up this episode of Trackfiles. I hope you enjoyed. But before I go, just a couple quick notes. First off, shout out to Landsharks for the continuing support of the Trackfiles podcast. Make sure you visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. Also, I have to thank the financial contributors to the podcast. Folks, without your contributions, this podcast would not be possible. And if you'd like to contribute to the podcast, it's very easy. Just visit my website, trackfiles.tv, and look for the PayPal buttons on the right side menu bar. So, in closing notes, yes, I am very excited about the upcoming trip down to Vegas. And earlier, I actually only gave you the itinerary for the first week. It's actually 2 weeks. And, well, after the TWiT broadcast on the Monday, I'll probably spend a couple days cruising around Sonoma and wine country, then slowly working my way back across Nevada towards Vegas for the flight home on the Saturday. And one of the stops I'm looking forward to on the return trip is a little town of Ely, Nevada. Now, why am I going there? Well, I'm looking for a restaurant called the Silver State Restaurant. And those of you who are fans of a popular British TV show, Top Gear, may recognize that restaurant from the Top Gear's second tour of the United States, where they had the Corvette, the Cadillac, and the Challenger. And that's the restaurant where, well, Hamster's car kind of got left in the middle of the highway. So it's actually turned into a bit of a tourist joint, but what the heck, I like a good pancake breakfast myself, so I'm going to check out how the Highway 50 and go on in there and see what the place is like, then slowly work my way south towards Vegas and grab some more caches along the ET Power Trail. If you haven't heard, that was another great big news item this summer, is the ET Power Trail was re-released, this time with 1,500 caches. Folks, this thing looks insane. Be honest, I don't know how many I'll be getting to, but I want to go for at least a couple hundred. What the heck, let's head out there into the desert and have some fun. So, hopefully you guys will keep track of the tour. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, Icenrye Tour 2K11. And also make sure you check out the Trackfiles Facebook fan page, because I'll be posting there every now and then. And of course, my brand new blog at icenryeblog.com. And if by chance something evil happens to me in Area 51, well, I will have a towel with me for all you Douglas Adams fans. You know what that's all about. And Hopefully the aliens will return me, well, someplace warm and dry and possibly close to home. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another episode of Trackfiles. So until the next episode in October, cache on.